Okay, next topic is renaming the index labels. So we did replacing of the values. Now we have replacing of the index label. You have row index labels and column labels. Okay, so there are two things here, and sometimes you may want to replace the values. Okay, so how do you do that? So here is an example that I've set up. Okay, so we have 3 rows and 4 columns, and we can use the str string methods, str.upper, str.lower, str.title, and so on. Those are the different methods available to us to change values. Right? So we can say df4. Okay. Now we use for changing the values, we use the replace method. For changing the names of axis indexes, we use rename. Okay, so rename. Okay. Okay, here the row index labels are referred to as index, and the column names are referred to as columns. Okay. So when you say index, okay, so that's your row label. Okay. Index, we can say upper, like that. And then if you say columns, okay, equal to, you should say columns, index equal to, columns equal to str. Title means you take the first letter and capitalize it. Capitalize the first letter only. So that's title. Okay, so here should not have that. Okay, so the index labels are capitalized in full. Okay, column labels are capitalized. The first letter is capitalized. That's title. Okay. Now, if you want to rename only selected index labels or selected column labels, then you have to use a dictionary. Okay, so renaming with the dictionary would be rename. Okay. Now again, remember index means row labels, column means column names, right? So now you can specify a dictionary here. Okay, under dictionary here, okay, specifying only those rows and those columns that you want to change. Okay, not all of them. So say Ohio, you want that changed to Indiana, right? And you can have more than just one, okay, as many as you want. And columns, say you want 1 to be 1 and 2 to be 2. Okay. Now the 2 should be. Okay. So now Ohio got changed to Indiana, and then the column labels 1 and 2 are changed to the numerals 1 and 2 instead of labels ONA and TWO. So we have replace for changing the values inside the data frame, and we have rename to change the names of row labels and column labels. Okay, one more topic on renaming, and that is you can use a function call to rename labels. And if you want to add some additional prefix or suffix or whatever for the labels, then you can set up a function and then use map to change the values. So here, say rename f, okay, and we're going to set that up, and then we're going to call df4. We can call df4 index, or we can call df4 columns, okay, and then we're going to call that function. And this function is supposed to take in these values. Okay, if you send index, then all the index values will go in there, and the function will do whatever it needs to do, and then send the revised names back. So whatever you send to this function, so suppose we want to take the first 3 letters, right? First 3 letters and make them uppercase, just as an example. Okay, so so we can do this with a lambda function, right? So when you call this function with df4 index, all the index values will go in there, and the lambda is going to take each index value, and that will be x. So x is going to be 1 by 1 each of the index values. So index meaning row labels here. And what do we want to do? We want the first 3. So 0, 1, 2. Okay. So that will be that. And we say we want it uppercase. Okay, so that's the function, and if we call with the index, so row indexes will be the ones that will be, okay, I need to, so since it is a function, you have to do map. Map is what will apply the function. Okay, so it took the first 3 letters and changed it to upper and sent it back. And we can do this with columns also. If we did that, then the column name. So the lambda function itself doesn't care whether what the incoming values are row labels or column labels. We are the ones who are determining that when we send column labels or row labels to the lambda function.